Piggy fan games. Love them or hate them, they are a big part of this community. First starting out in the year 2020 and begin to become a staple phenomenon in the Piggy community. Many talented devs have practically made a lot of Piggy fan games. Like Result of Isolation, Piggy Rebooted, and Piggy Branch Realities, and APRP. Is APRP even considered as a fan game because more official? But love it or hate it, Piggy fan game's been a staple of the community ever since 2020, early 2020. Why did I just say 2020 2 times? I have freaking no script for this. But there are some fan games out there that practically are bad, or practically are not really the best in quality. Maybe they are good, but some practically have a few flaws of them that I practically want to talk about. Today I'll be going over the top 7 Piggy fan games, in my personal opinion, are the ones I do not like or to straight up despise with all my hatred. And before I start, this is just my opinion on these fan games. This is just my opinion on these fan games, and not meant to hurt or harass the developers. Is this seriously meant this? Is this a helpful, video of me criticizing these fan games when I do not like about them? They are not meant to hate or harass developers behind these games. Even if some of the developers behind these games are horrible people. I'm looking at you, Piggy the Lost Book. Piggy the Storybook. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. So before I start, this is just my opinion. I am not attacking these developers, even if some of them are really bad people like Piggy the Storybook or Piggy the Hour of Joy. Anyway, let's start this video. Number 7. Now I know what you're thinking. Olivia, why the heck are you talking about Piggy the Massacre? This game is good. Why the heck are you going to talk about this one? Now wait. Before you unsubscribe, let me explain. Now, I do not like... Now, Now, there are some stuff about this game that I do like. Like the animations and the jump scares, and I really do like some of the chapter designs. In the remake, they are really much better. I have not seen much of the original game, but I know for a fact the animations are better than what they used to be. And the animation chapter 6 are just good and amazing. And especially the cutscenes. Even as some of the things in this game that I really do not like. I don't know how the heck the developer does it. Why could Kevin just spend more time on Piggy the Eyes of Truth like this? Also, speaking of, there's a little Easter egg for Piggy the Eyes of Truth. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Kevin made Piggy the Eyes of Truth, as well as Piggy the Massacre. He actually made fun of his old game, I think in chapter 6, when it was a book titled Piggy the Eyes of Truth War, which does confirm that the game might be dead in the water, because there's been no new chapter since. And the last chapter was chapter 2, part 1. So this kind of just proves that the game is practically dead in the water. But there's one thing about this game that really makes me mad and really boils my gears. Even how good this game is, this game has one thing in it that's basically holding it back. The Skibbity Toilet references. I'm not freaking joking. The creator, Kevin, actually is a fan of Skibbity Toilet and actually has referenced Skibbity Toilet. No freaking joke. In the game, he practically referenced Skibbity Toilet. Which, I mean, I'm not judging him for liking it, but Why do you have to put that many references in your fan game that is Piggy? Also, not to brag, but I feel like this fan game just feels a little bit disconnected from Piggy. Even though it's its own fan, it doesn't really feel like a Piggy fan game. And I don't mean that in a good sense. I mean that like in a very disconnected and bad sense. That it does not feel like a Piggy fan game. It feels like a shell of a former Piggy fan game. And that is the problem. I'm not hating the decisions that they made for this game. I'm just basically... And even though there's some things I like about this game, the Scooby-Doo toilet references are just holding it back. And I basically do not like Scooby-Doo toilet for burning passion. Knowing the creator behind Scooby-Doo toilet is not really the best person, and also because I practically that whole situation that happened back in 2023, where practically he was copyright striking YouTubers that practically used the Scooby-Doo toilet IP, like Game Tunes and another Roblox YouTuber. But that's all I gotta say for this fan game. I don't hate Kevin. I'm fine with him liking Skibidi Toilet. He can like whatever he wants. But I don't think I'll be tuning in for Chapter 7. Number 6. Piggy Unstable Reality. Yet that again, like I said, before you unsubscribe, let me explain. I don't think everything in this game is all bad. I think it's the old funny old game just to joke around with your friends. This game was obviously made as a joke, and this game is not meant to be taken seriously. I could tell the creator basically had a lot of fun joking around this game due to the fact that some of the stuff in this game is practically kind of funny. And the models are just kind of dumb. Like, you gotta play this game for yourself because straight up, the game practically is kind of funny. But that's all I really gotta say because the rest of the stuff in this game practically makes no sense. And what do I mean by make no sense? I mean like the game makes no sense. Like, the game practically involves the player getting sucked inside her computer. I don't remember the storyline for this game. And I don't even want to watch any videos to see what the game is about. Because practically this game is just so weird and dumb. Like, oh my god. Like, Chapter 11 makes no sense. Chapter 10, Chapter 9, Elliot does the elephant and Grandma thing. Why is she in a wheelchair? And Chapter 8 is a massive cutscene. And I don't know what's going on in this game. I'm so confused. What kind of piggy game be like in 2023 is this? You just gotta play this game for yourself. But the reason why I do not like this game is because of the constant fourth wall breaks and also the constant distortions of the maps. Now, okay, I get it's meant to be a joke game. But once you start using too many fourth wall breaks, it starts getting annoying. There's only a amount of time you can start using the fourth wall breaks before it maybe start becoming unfunny. I've seen a lot of shows and some games do this sometimes, and even though the fourth wall breaks are funny at first, half the time they practically just become unfunny. There's only so many times you can use the fourth wall breaks before immediately. There's only so many times you can basically tell the same story about the characters know during the video game every time before just immediately just becoming boring. Every time the characters break the fourth wall, I'm just like, oh my god, this again. Can we just hurry this up? Like in Chapter 7, I really did not like it. I really never really did like the fourth wall breaks in this game, and I really never did like the story in this game. I think this was holding it back, and not to mention there's one thing in Chapter 2 that really did bug me back then, and Okay, I know for a fact that this was taken out, and I think the creator felt sorry for what he did. But back in Chapter 2, when Chapter 2 came out, there were posters and pictures on the wall of Piggy developers, well, mainly of Piggy fan games, and the ones that the creators making fun of that haven't updated in a while. Mainly being Piggy Result of Isolation, and I think Piggy Result of Isolation and Piggy the Insane Series, which, for real, why the heck are making fun of those devs? As the creators were going on, as some creators of those fan games were going on breaks, or some of them were banned. Why the heck did you just decide to make fun of them? That is straight up tone deaf and not funny, and straight up mean to those poor devs who didn't deserve that. I think the creator felt sorry for what he did, so he removed them. But straight up, that just seems scummy for you to put pictures of those in your game. Like what Cammy said in his Piggy Fan Games video. You can't just make fun of fan games just because you do not like them. You can't put that inside of your fan game, make fun of those fan games. It's not funny, and it's cruel, and it's mean to some of those developers. Now, I know he did learn his lesson, and practically, I think they're now at the game. I hadn't checked Chapter 2 because I could not beat Chapter 2. I don't know why, but it was kind of hard for me to understand. But, yeah, let's move on to the next game. Number 5. Piggy the Storybook. Okay, this video is going to get a little bit serious. I do not like Piggy the Storybook, because the story makes no sense in some of the chapters. Now, I know for a fact it's meant to focus on some characters, but this fan game feels like a wasted potential. It just feels like a version of Branch Realities, and also not to mention, this game actually has stolen models. No joke. Some models in this game are stolen. And also, the creator of this game was exposed for being a creep. And I'm about to show you because it's on Cammy's channel. Thank you, Cammy, for actually showing this. Because if I never knew this, I probably would still been supporting this game. Ignoring that bedtime reminder. Sorry about you had to see that. I'm age restricted. I know it's horrible, but I'm not fully restricted to the point where I can't watch age restricted videos. I just can't watch age restricted videos. I know it's on here somewhere. Come on. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. I'm going to show you the screenshots. Pause to read if you want. Also, you can pause to read this. But yeah, Cammy will no longer making videos on this game. And I totally support him on that. Because straight up, the developer behind this game is a creep. And I'm glad Foxboy did not play this. I'm glad Fox would not play this, because if he did, and I even said in chat, do not play it. The developer behind it is a creep and a horrible person, because he also rushed someone who was doing a collab with him. So, yeah, definitely I will not support this game and never support it. I have seen a few videos on this game, and this game is really not the best. So, moving on to number 4, before I immediately start talking about some serious stuff. Okay. Now, if you know me, I have admitted to many a times being a Result of Isolation fan. And I actually kind of do like this one, but there are some stuff that's holding it back. Now, this game actually used to have 10 of the chapters, but some of them were removed and only finally remained. until eventually the big update that I think happened 2 or 3 weeks ago, which came out with lots of bugs. Sorry, had to cough. Anyway, I had lots of bugs. Like, for real, most of it has a lot of bugs and has not been fixed. Also, not to mention, Chapter 9 practically had stolen assets from Piggy, the robotic apocalypse. And I think the creator behind Piggy Robotic Apocalypse actually tweeted about it and said how he was upset about it. And also, Cammy even confirmed this in his video when he made a video on the game. And the badge for Chapter 11 exists, but the chapter for Chapter 11 in this game does not exist, even though the template for the badge does. So I don't know what's going on with Chapter 11. It's probably bugged, but who knows? But I mean, this game is not all bad, but it's just a huge disappointment. And with a remake of Result of Isolation, it just already feels like this game feels like, I feel like many of concept games or Result of Isolation are get thrown up by that remake or Result of Isolation, Piggy Result of Isolation resurrected. I keep forgetting the name. Which, by the way, I will be making a full-fledged review on the chapters of that game once Chapter 5 comes out. So, number 3. Piggy the Hidden Text. Piggy the Hidden Text is really not a good fan game. In my personal opinion, this game is practically weird. I found out about this game for Foxboy 12, and one of the first few chapters I ever played of this game was the Tigery chapter, where that Timu Wish version of Umbra. Yep, that one. That Umbra that looked like a pet cat for some weird reason. Yeah, that's the only one I basically played, and that was it. I didn't play anything else for the game after that. And some of the chapters and the titles for the chapters are misleading. Like, Shadow Breakout, like, where are the shadows? And Hidden Hospital is not really hidden. If you want good titles for some chapters, I feel like My Piggy series practically improves those, like Horror House or House of Horrors. Yep, the house is definitely full of horrors. Disturbing Hospital. Everything's going to be disturbing in it. Abandoned Metro. Definitely abandoned. You can definitely tell the chapters will not be the names of the chapters will not be misleading. And also, Massacre Ship. It will be a massacre. And up for the Piggy the Massacre. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this game, but I don't know how the heck these fan games get a cult following, knowing that some of these games are just absolute poop shows. And speaking of poop shows, okay, we're kind of getting to the worst, but number 2. Piggy the Eyes of Truth. And no, I'm not kidding. This fan game has free books. Free freaking books. No joke. This game actually has free books. And book 3 is unfinished. And I'm pretty sure the creators abandoned the game or the game is dead in the water. And judging by for Piggy the Massacre, that kind of just confirmed this game is dead in the water. So this game will no longer be getting updates probably, or I'm wrong about that. If one of the devs can confirm in the comments if the game is definitely dead in the water, which it probably is, or they just want to focus more on Piggy the Massacre and decide to shelve it. Piggy the Eyes of Truth Now, I actually made a video on this game. I actually recorded Cammy's stream of him trying to beat Chapter 3. And trust me, what Cammy said in his stream was actually true. Chapter 3 is a massive... a massive show. A massive show. Because I'm not going to say the word, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's a massive frick show. Or a massive freak show. Because you got Father, who's tall as frick, and practically, like, for real, he is so annoying you can't get him freaking stuck. And not to mention the statue. And not to mention the part of the map you get stuck in. And not to mention there's another bot that practically is just a massive freak show. Not to mention the bot's UI sucks. And really not to mention... Now, this is where I start getting old ranty. There's barely no cutscenes in this game. And this game has a lot of bugs. And I mean a lot of bugs. And this game barely has no cutscenes. What do I mean? Parts of the story is missing. And if the game is old fast enough, you're freaking dead by the bots. And also, this game practically is just a Result of Isolation copy. What Cammy said is true. This game just feels like a Troy copy. Because it just feels like Book 1 copies Result of Isolation. Then Book 2 kind of ends up as its own fate. And Book 3, we don't know what freaking happened after Book 2. We don't know if it takes like 10 years later, 15 years later. It's just a massive frick show. And I think Book 3 is an improvement. But Book 3 still has its own problems that it needs to resolve. So definitely, I do not like much of this game. There are some things I do like. The character designs and the music is freaking bops. But overall, the rest of the game, yeah, really not that great. Also, is it just me or the model for Georgie being injured is stolen from Result of Isolation? Because it looks stolen to me, but I don't know, or maybe it's just me. Because it's just like the exact same model where Georgie was injured from Piggy Result of Isolation. Like, they didn't even try to make their own original injured Georgie model. They just seriously just probably stole the model for Result of Isolation. I'm not trying to hate on the Desmond, just saying. But please, if you ever do return or make a remake of this game, please actually add in cutscenes some of the chapters. And please actually not make it like a Troy copy. Because it just feels like a Result of Isolation copy. Even Book 3 feels like it. But, yeah. Moving on. But they probably will revisit this game in the future. But who knows. Now, this is where I'm going to start ranting. Piggy the Hour of Joy. More like, this game could have got sued by Mob Games. Piggy the Hour of Joy? What kind of Poppy Playtime styled, I don't know, game is this? Now, this game is Yoss Media. Cammy's video is the only game that exists of this game. There are no videos online about this game. Now this game was called out for stealing models and stealing models for some fan games and also copying Poppy Playtime because due to the title and due to the music in the main menu. Also, what Cammy confirmed in his top 5 worst Piggy fan games video, he confirmed that he could only teleport to 2 chapters and he couldn't teleport to any of the other chapters. Which means there were actually more chapters to this game that were added in after his original video on the game, but they all been taken out and the game was removed. Also, thanks to this guy, there was actually a Google Doc, or a document made of this guy, but unfortunately I couldn't find it. So if you do happen to comment, I want I want to know, do you still have that doc? Because I actually do want to read it, and I'm kind of curious about what that doc is. So if you don't have the doc anymore, I understand, but the creator's name is Darkness. And judging by what Cammy said in his video, he says he's a racist, homophobic frick, which confirms that practically this guy is practically racist and homophobic. This guy does not like LGBTQ and I'm pretty sure this guy has said a lot of racist things, which confirms that he is a terrible person. Not to mention the stuff that this guy did is unforgivable by stealing models. And I'm pretty sure that he used the model from Piggy, the traumatic experiences. I don't know what model that he used the house from. And also, that was actually Georgie in chapter 1. Where the frick is Penny? Also, if you didn't want to make a puppy playtime style Piggy fan game, maybe make the characters into experiments, and maybe making them want revenge for what the scientists did to them. Like, that just sounds like a good idea for a fan game. Like, heck, if someone can make a Dandy's World AU a Poppy Playtime Dandy's World AU, you could practically do the exact same thing with Piggy. I don't know why the heck this guy didn't do it instead of stole models and it's called Piggy Hour Joy and it's called it a day. Using somebody else's models is not okay without permission. Especially stealing them and using them for your product. Stealing is not okay and it's not a good thing to do. Not to mention, this game is technically lost media because we don't know how many chapters there were of this game. And there was and I don't think no one wants to find a fan game that practically used stolen models and assets. But if someone actually didn't know what the rest of the chapters were, let me know. Not to mention there were no cutscenes, so there's practically probably no story to this. And even if there was, it probably wouldn't make no sense. This game just seems like a result of isolation / Poppy Playtime copy. It just seems like the creator wanted to make a Poppy Playtime style fan game, didn't know how to, and practically just a lot of things together. Yeah, I say result of isolation did that 10 times better. Because even though you can yap for result of isolation all you want for tons of bugs it has nowadays, at least with the chase scenes, they're actually better than what the heck this trash is. Stealing models in your game is not okay, and using them without permission ain't okay. And also, the only evidence this game ever did exist is Cammy's video, his top 5 worst Piggy fan games video, and Piggy, and a couple of tweets. We don't know they're actually still around on Twitter anymore, so we don't know they're even still on the internet. So this game is a piece of lost media that'll never get found. And even the creator does have the game still, he's probably a massive frick about it. And probably just tell us probably just say he probably doesn't have them anymore or whatever. And I'm pretty sure the creator's off the internet, so it's probably gonna be hard to get in contact with him. And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't even care to release the game back. Well, what am I saying? I don't want this game to get found. I want this game to remain lost media. This is probably a piece of lost media that should probably stay lost media. Because there are some things we want to stay lost media and never get found. Like this. This should never get found. Even though I want to actually know what the other chapters were. And was there ever a story? I don't want to seriously have this game get found. Because this game is a massive dumpster fire and a massive show. And it's still gonna be a massive freak show. And it is a freak show. And it is abysmal. because everything in it was abysmal and it ended up being absolutely abysmal. Sorry for all my rants of these fan games. Honestly, please respect my opinion on these games. This is my opinion, and I'm not attacking some of these devs who made these games, even if some of them are bad people and deserve to be called out. Piggy, our Joy Dev Darkness, and the creator behind Piggy the Storybook. And also, sorry practically if I was rambling. I have no script for this. So, yeah. Also, if you want to know more about these fan games, I suggest checking out Cammy's video. He did a better job at explaining these fan games than I'll ever do. So make sure to check out Cammy's video. Cammy, you're basically amazing. And also, he has some videos on these fan games on his channel if you want to check them out. And some of these fan games, not the same with the Cammy's channel, they're also on Fox Boys and other people's. So please show these people some love. At this point, I need a drink in a bath. I'm tired of this. I think I just lost like a gajillion brain cells by making this. Anyway, the lesson for today is never to steal and also never to be a massive creep online. And also never to steal any assets and ask permission. And always be nice to people. I guess it's the lesson we got out of this. And also opinions. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these piggy fan games and stories. Even if we do not like them, we still have to basically support the devs. Even though some out there do not deserve to be supported due to some of them being creeps and practically being horrible people. Anyway, catch you all next time. Remember, these are just my opinions. And let me know what you think of these opinions down. These fan games down in the comments. I actually really do enjoy reading your comments and your support on these videos. And you're actually the ones that actually help make these videos happen. Anyway, see you next time. Good night and peace.